Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
First at 4, breaking news from a CDC panel. We have the vote results on a COVID vaccine for children ages 12 to 15. Plus, we're starting to answer questions many parents might have. Also, dumped and defying, Congresswoman Liz Cheney makes a new promise about her future and the future of former President Donald Trump. And here is Ben Bailey on a sunshiny day.
Karen, don't even need to say anything. Just the look outside the window tells you things are definitely different. Now can we keep the trend going into the weekend? We'll answer that right now, first at 4.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Good afternoon, I'm Karen Drew. Breaking news first at 4. Many Michigan families will be updating their COVID vaccine plans. In the past hour, a CDC advisory panel voted unanimously to recommend the emergency use of the Pfizer vaccine in 12 to 15-year-olds, saying the benefits clearly outweigh the risks. CDC also updated their guidelines to say that COVID vaccines can now be given along with other routine vaccines. The CDC had previously recommended waiting 2 weeks before receiving any other immunizations. Earlier today, Governor Gretchen Whitmer urged Michigan parents to gather information about that next step.
As a parent, I encourage all parents with children in this group to have a conversation with your family doctor about the safe, effective vaccines as soon as possible. As the number of Michiganders getting vaccinated increases, our COVID numbers decrease.
The governor also confirmed some encouraging trends in Michigan. Most notably, more than 55% of adults have received at least their first shot. That means businesses should be able to call employees back to work on May 24th. Leelanau County by Traverse City is the first to reach 70%, with Oakland and Washtenaw counties among those at 60%. The state's chief medical executive says all COVID metrics are decreasing. The case positivity rate is down to 9.8%, almost half of the peak in early April. Today, the state is reporting more than 1,200 new cases just in the past day, along with 17 additional deaths. The governor's team says getting 12 to 15-year-olds vaccinated is a step forward for everyone, but especially for the kids in your life.
This will mean less missed school because of quarantine, fewer missed sports practices and games, a return to birthday parties, sleepovers, and most importantly, our kids will have a much lower risk of getting ill from this terrible virus.
No matter the benefits, giving children a brand new vaccine will be a major decision for many families. Some adults have been pretty confident making that decision for themselves, but now they want some more information when they're talking about their kids. Our Paula Tutman spoke with a parent looking for answers and a doctor looking to fill in some of the blanks.
So let's start with the climate for parents to even express themselves. I mean, there are parents who are afraid to say what they actually think because of the repercussions.
I mean, there's a lot of information that I think is coming out that is either confusing or it was one way and now it's another way. And there's a lot that people have to filter through.
Julia is a mom of 3, reluctant to get the COVID vaccine for herself. She is even more reluctant to get it for her 14-year-old son.
Having children under the age of 18, not matured yet, not going through puberty yet, to me, I'm not there.
It's how a lot of parents feel, struggling to get real information and trying to weigh that information with what's best for their family and small children. While Moderna and J&J are testing the safety and efficacy of the COVID vaccine for children, it is Pfizer that has won approval for expanding the EUA to children as young as 12. The study amounts to this: 2,200 children between the ages of 12 and 15. Only 16 got COVID, and all 16 were in the placebo group. Dr. Ovita Fuller sits on the FDA advisory panel, but did not participate in the review for the expansion, but she has seen the data that indicates the Pfizer vaccine is 100% efficacious for children in this age group.
I don't like to use the term 100%. That's just what the data say in terms of this number of children that were looked at. So I think if we say we were looking at 200,000, that number might not hold up. But again, the point is the dangers of COVID for young people is so much greater than the danger of the vaccine or the unknowns of the vaccines.
But based on the science and the facts, not opinion, but the facts, the vaccine's efficacy in children down to 12 years old is clear.
What we're saying is that the protection of a 16-year-old and up can work for a 12-year-old and up physiologically. After puberty, there's a kind of physiological maturity that the immune system has. Our children who may be asymptomatically infected or who may show up 4 to 6 weeks after exposure with what's called multi-system inflammatory disease, which can be really detrimental. Those people who got the vaccine did not get any symptoms of COVID.
Again, the science is the science. We're simply trying to arm parents with real information so they can decide whether or not the shot is best for them and their children. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
There's also breaking news involving the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. The CDC just presented new data on the rare blood clot risk that triggered an earlier pause of that vaccine. The CDC says there are now a total of 28 reported cases, including 6 men. The deaths remain at 3. 4 patients are still hospitalized. The patients affected range in age from 18 to 59. The CDC says no cases of these rare blood clots have been found in connection with the Pfizer or Moderna vaccines. We also have this Local 4 update on a kidnapping case where the suspect remains on the loose, armed and dangerous. Police say 31-year-old Adrian Brown walked into the subway on 9 Mile and Shaner Tuesday afternoon with a gun. They say he forced his ex-girlfriend into his SUV. She was found safe 8 hours later. Detroit police discovered a burned SUV this morning near 8 Mile and I-75 that may be linked to the suspect. Police say Brown was sentenced just last week for unlawful imprisonment of another woman. If you see him, call police. The fight over the Line 5 pipeline continues today between the state and energy giant Enbridge. The pipeline is supposed to shut down today due to an order given by Governor Whitmer. The governor ordered the shutdown, fearing a catastrophic spill from the pipeline into the Great Lakes. However, Enbridge has vowed to defy that order. Enbridge could be forced, potentially, to give up 100% of its daily Line 5 profits, estimated to be about $1.4 million a day. The pipeline runs underneath the Straits of Mackinac, where Lakes Michigan and Huron meet. Well, Ben, you delivered. You said it was going to get nicer. It sure did. The sun was out, the skies are blue, and it is just a gorgeous day to be outside.
It is a good day to turn the corner. We've got the weekend in sight, and yeah, everything's looking warmer, Karen, except tomorrow morning. Guess what's back? Frost advisories out for everybody except Wayne County. And this is until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Now, we're going to show you where we think the frost is going to show up here with the computer model. And notice that those light blue shades there, that's mostly in the west and north zone, parts of Lenawee County as well. But you can see there's a huge chunk of the metro zone, even including parts of Oakland and Macomb County that are under those advisories, where we don't think there's going to see any frost. Likely going to peak there at 5 a.m. and then by 7, 8 o'clock, that stuff is gone. And we're on our way to a pretty nice afternoon. But this evening, temperatures falling into the 50s and eventually 40s at midnight. We'll talk just how warm we're going to get this weekend in just a few minutes. Karen?
All right. Thank you, Ben. The Republican Party has tossed Congresswoman Liz Cheney from her powerful position in the House of Representatives. She is defiant. Her party is divided and its battle, I should say, that could impact the 2022 elections. Devin Skillion tracking reaction for us this afternoon. Devin.
Yeah, Karen, Congresswoman Cheney has practically Republican royalty, of course, in her blood, the daughter of former Vice President Dick Cheney, and she was the #3 GOP leader in the U.S. House. But her criticism of former President Trump has turned much of her own party against her. Cheney voted to impeach the former president for his role in the January 6th Capitol riots, and she has continually called out his false claims of election fraud. We'll never know the level of support that she actually had today because Republicans did this all through a voice vote behind closed doors. Cheney's continued criticism of Trump got her in trouble. The House Minority Leader met with President Biden today and claimed his party is not buying into claims the election was stolen.
I don't think anybody is questioning the legitimacy of the presidential election. I think that is all over with. We're sitting here with the president today.
I will do everything I can to ensure that the former president never again gets anywhere near the Oval Office. We have seen the danger that he continues to provoke with his language. We have seen his lack of commitment and dedication to the Constitution. And I think it's very important that we make sure whomever we elect is somebody who will be faithful to the Constitution.
So we're a long way from the next congressional elections in 2022. But Karen, this is already sort of laying the dance card out for us. Congresswoman Cheney's already done a sit-down interview with NBC's Savannah Guthrie. Congresswoman is going to talk about her next steps tomorrow on the Today Show starting at 7 a.m. following Local 4 News Today with Evrod and Rhonda. Karen, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Devin. Still ahead first at 4. It is the biggest news in daytime television. Ellen DeGeneres is spelling out what comes next for her and her show. Also, the death of his son inspired this World War II veteran to make history. How he gave the gift of life and set a world record. But first, we update a serious gas shortage. Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm predicts when it could end, and will we ever feel the pinch here in Michigan?